Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And I've been taking a look at each of the NBA playoff series as we know them. Opening round, did the conference semifinals, did the Eastern Conference Finals, of course, yesterday with the Thunder's blowout victory over the Nuggets in Game 7. We now know the Western Conference Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, two franchises that have never won it all. And yes, I know the Seattle Supersonics won it all, but I'm talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Timberwolves have never even reached the NBA Finals. The Thunder did once back in the Westbrook, Durant, James Harden days. So been well over a decade since they last made it. But actually, before I even get into the starting lineups, we take a look at regular season marks. So the Thunder, of course, one of the best regular seasons in NBA history. They had the best point differential in NBA history. The best defensive rating by about 3 points per 100 possessions. Net rating, obviously, first. And the Timberwolves, yes, they finished 15 games worse than the Thunder, but their play improved by leaps and bounds throughout the season. Of course, they had to acclimate Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo into their lineup. Took them a while to get it going, but, they've looked excellent in the playoffs, winning both of their series in 5 games. First round against the Lakers, conference semifinals against the Warriors. Yes, I know Steph Curry got hurt in game 1, but you play who you're up against, and the Timberwolves easily prevailed. Of course, the Thunder swept their opening round against the Grizzlies, but had that tough series against the Nuggets, and not much rest as the series just ended yesterday. And the Western Conference Finals begin tomorrow. Of course, the Thunder have home court advantage, so they don't have to do any traveling. Let's take a look now at the starting lineups. And these have been the starting lineups all playoffs. I mean, there's been some calls to maybe put Lou Dort off the bench, but I feel like he's going to play a huge role in this series because at least in the starting lineup, he's probably going to be the guy to man up on Anthony Edwards most, and at least try to slow him down. SGA, after not scoring the ball super efficiently to begin the playoffs, he's been playing much better as well. And I should add that those averages you see are points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, steals per game, blocks per game in the postseason. Jalen Williams looked like it might be the second straight conference semifinals where he struggled, but really performed well in the Game 7 blowout win to at least exercise some of those demons for him in the playoffs. But the Timberwolves are a team that can combat the Thunder's size. Of course, they start kind of almost like a 2-center lineup, although Chet Holmgren is rather thin, just super tall. But, with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, Randle, he's another guy, just when he was with the Knicks, really struggled in his 2 postseason experiences. Those were the only 2 times he played in the playoffs. Last year, he was hurt. Really has been playing well in this year's playoffs, averaging nearly 24 points and 6 assists per game on some very solid shooting numbers as well. Anthony Edwards has had a couple off games, but otherwise has been himself. Jaden McDaniels really stepping it up on the offensive end in this postseason while being their best perimeter defender. Mike Conley's numbers aren't going to jump off the page, but he's hit some big shots in the playoffs and, of course, provides that veteran leadership. And, so the problem is, let's get to the reserves. Timberwolves only really rely on 3 guys off the bench, and you could say the Thunder go at least 10 deep, and they've got, even if someone were to get hurt, you have AJ Mitchell and Kenrich Williams that can play as well. A lot of guys that Mark Daigneault can count on to play minutes, but of course Alex Caruso, universally lauded for his defense on the Joker in Game 7, despite being completely outsized by him. And, Kason Wallace, another excellent defender. I mean, both of these teams are very good on the defensive end. But the Thunder really don't have that weak link on defense. We will see if Isaiah Joe can get it going. Really did not play well in that second round matchup against the Nuggets and really saw his minutes dwindle as the team lost confidence in him. But as I mentioned, the T-Wolves really only go 8 deep. Kind of crazy because it seems like in both conferences there's a team that goes 10, maybe even sometimes 11 deep in the Thunder and the Pacers. Then we got the Knicks and Timberwolves who are really going 8 deep during this postseason run. But yeah, I mean, the Timberwolves, they got 3 very solid bench pieces. It's not like they're only playing 10 minutes per game. Each of these guys are probably playing around 20 minutes per game in this postseason. Naz Reid, of course, has been one of the more productive bench pieces in the NBA over the last 3 seasons. Dante DiVincenzo, after a very slow start to the season, has played closer to how he was looking with the Knicks last season. And Gilgeous-Alexander Walker, another storyline because, of course, he is the cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I'm sure there'll be times that Alexander Walker is manning him up. So that'll be a fun matchup to see when it happens. But for all these, I always list 5 bench guys for both teams. Terrence Shannon Jr. and Jalen Clark have barely played in the playoffs. But again, just 8 guys that have really played, and if I'm listing 10, had to throw 2 more on there. But it's worked for the T-Wolves. It's worked for the Knicks, not going very deep into their bench. But let's take a look at DraftKings Sportsbook for the series odds. I just got home from work, so I haven't seen. Let me see if it's updated. So let's go to NBA, then series markets. Thunder heavy favorites, minus 330 to the Timberwolves, plus 265. It's much different than the East, where the Knicks are minus 145, Pacers are 125. That's seen as a much more even matchup. I mean, the Thunder, had a tough time with the Nuggets other than at Game 7. Actually, they had 2 blowouts, but, otherwise a very tough series. Timberwolves have kind of eased through the first 2 rounds. Definitely coming in with more rest into this series, so I'm probably hoping that they could steal Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow with the fresher legs. But as I mentioned, the Thunder go much deeper with their roster in the playoffs, have more guys they can count on. So in the end, and I went back and forth with this one, but I decided to go with the Thunder in 6 games. There's part of me that wants to take the Timberwolves. I took them in each of the first 2 rounds. I took them against the Lakers and the Warriors, and I took them without knowing that Steph Curry was going to get injured in Game 1. So, I might regret this pick. We'll see. Of course, the T-Wolves reached the Western Conference Finals last year, lost in 5 games to the Dallas Mavericks, and the Thunder lost in the second round to the Dallas Mavericks. So, which team will reach the NBA Finals? Can the Timberwolves reach their first in franchise history? Let me know in the comments your predictions. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.